Hi, hello, hi. It is me, Jessie Serious Tomlinson here, the person who I wrote, directed, edited, starred in his own making this short film here. Um, Basically, I've decided to give you a little director's commentary thing here as a kind of creative way to analyse and reflect on my film that I have made. So hopefully you will enjoy this and find it insightful. We are going to watch through his own making and we are going to talk about it. I am going to comment on how I feel about it looking back at it now as a completed project, and I'm going to talk about the process of making it and how that was as we watch through it. So here we go. Alright, so it comes in with a black screen and then shows my character Jaden sleeping and waking up and then starting to go about a morning routine. The song playing here is the piano version, the backing track of a song called Hope There's Someone, I believe. And the song is about loneliness and being afraid of dying alone and stuff like that, and that is obviously what this part of the film is about. I chose this song specifically to reflect how my character is feeling at this moment in his life, in the narrative, in the movie. We just had a little title card come up that said his own making. I chose the name His Own Making for this film because that is, I read it somewhere that is the name of a specific style of superhero origin story. Obviously this film could fit within a superhero origin story genre category thing, but I chose His Own Making specifically because that specific sort of superhero origin story is to do with a character such as, say, like Iron Man or someone who takes it upon themselves to make themselves into a hero. And I wanted this film especially to be about like self-empowerment and turning things around for yourself and choosing to be the better person in a situation. This sequence where he leaves the house, does everything, it goes on for a while, and I wanted this specifically to be like a very tedious long sequence, not necessarily to make the audience bored, but I wanted to make the audience know that Jaden was bored and we're kind of stuck in a repetitive cycle of just going about his day-to-day life, no real excitement, is on his own, is like got all these chores that he needs to do, but he hasn't got any passion in anything. And I just really needed the audience to know that that is why I made this sequence so long and seemed to like drag on for so long with these long shots and nothing happening. We see, when he's going to take the bins out, we do see Jessica Court's character, Agent Jones, standing on the side of the road. And, you know, you won't notice that at first glance, but when you watch it back, you will notice that she is there. And that is, you know, because that character is following Jaden around. And I feel like that's a fun little thing. Like when you watch it the second time, you will notice that, but not necessarily right away. Here we have Jaden making himself some tea, and the music now is starting to build in the background. I really like this track. I love how well it fits this scene. I like how it builds here because we know that the character Jaden is building up in his mind, making a phone call. You know, I know this, watching this now, but like for the first time viewing this, you'll be like, why is the music building? And I really want it to be like that building of suspense for something that doesn't seem that important, or for something that you don't even know is happening. And I really wanted it to be the musical equivalent of how anxiety would feel to a person. So it's like building and building and building and building and building, and it's like, what's gonna happen? And then it's just a phone call, and it's like, well, that was nothing. But I wanted to, that's how anxiety feels, and I really wanted to portray that with the music building here. So obviously now we have Jaden calling Peter up here, who is his ex friend, flatmate, roommate, whatever. We don't really know the whole situation, obviously, but someone who Jaden was very close to previously. So we want to have like Jaden feeling things about a recent person who has left his life. Here we have, obviously, the first demonstration of Jaden's powers. He makes the chair fall over, makes the blanket cover him. Those are very fun and hard to film, to have people moving things off screen where like, you can't see the person. Here we see Jessica's character again. Agent Jones was a really fun character to write. I like spies and espionage and that sort of stuff, and I like the mystery to her. So this is probably just like one of my favourite scenes ever, because, you know, it's like the peak in action. Jaden gets cornered in like an alleyway by some thugs, and he's getting attacked. And
where you going, freak?
yeah, basically, just watch this.
Where you trying to go, freak? Huh? What the fuck? Leave me alone. Nah, man, what are you doing around here? What the fuck was that? What was that?
And obviously he gets away, and then uses powers to crush his attacker's skull, which I think that's kind of empowering, right? But obviously Jaden has a lot of emotions because he did just kill a guy. Whether he deserved it or not, we don't know. The special effects with the blurred, SFX blurred, is so good. It's like, my friend Max did that, and it's just like, he's so talented. How do you do that? But that's so good. I don't know how people manage to make fake blood look that realistic. It's great. Anyway, yeah. So we get back to after the attack, and Jaden is in his flat. Here's a knock at the door. Is obviously very anxious. Found some like anxious music to build up here, to get like very mysterious. He's obviously on edge, and he has this conversation with Jones at the door.
I'm so sorry to bother you, but may I come in?
Who are you?
My name is Agent Jones. I'd very much like to speak to you now, Jaden.
Are you police?
No, if you just let me in, I'm willing to explain everything.
I can't just...
Earlier, the man in the alleyway, he died.
I used a lot of multicam in this film. Like, there's a lot of situations where like my character and Jessica's character are having conversations. So I have one camera on my face, one camera on her face, and I used a clapperboard to sync them. And that was very interesting to do, because this is the first time I've done a lot of multicam like this for one project.
I know how you did it.
So let's go back on some multicam here.
But you still did it.
How do you know my name?
I know a lot of things. I'm sure you'd like to know what a lot of them are.
Like how that man died.
His name was Victor King, a 20-year-old man from the
Here we see Jaden like really thinking about how strong his powers are and how they can affect people, and how like he's reflecting on how like he murdered a guy, and that's obviously, you know, it's a big thing for him to deal with. So it's a very emotional moment for my character here, and acting that was hard. But I think thanks to the editing, I managed to sort of save my acting with editing. The music especially, and I put like a visual effect over this to make it seem a lot darker, because it was quite bright in this room because there's a big window, but in Premiere Pro I made the screen a lot darker to make this whole scene have like a very darker, sadder sort of atmosphere to it. Alright, so I've showed up to the safe house. Jaden decided to go and meet with James because she knew so much about him, and you know, like, he's lonely and he's just met this girl who knows things about him, so obviously he's gonna see what she has to say for herself. And then we go into this montage of Jaden learning, you know, control of his body and control of his mind, essentially, which is what Jones says in her speech to him. I'm really proud of my montage editing here. I found a piece of music and then you know, when the music builds and when it drops, so I was like, I need to have a clip here, I need to have something happening here. And that's what I did that. I really like this speech that Jones has given Jaden here, but unfortunately we decided to film this on a day where all of my neighbours wanted to mow their lawn, so the audio isn't perfect here, but I'm glad you can still hear what she's saying. And it's okay, I don't think it ruins it. It's just, you know, if I could go back and redo anything, I would redo this. Right, so you have a boxing scene here. This was inspired by a shot in Captain America First Avenger, I believe, where there's a shot of Steve Rogers punching a puncher bag from behind, like letting out a lot of anger. And I liked that shot, so I was inspired by her.
Can you please not read my mind?
I'm sorry, Jaden, it's just not really.
This is where we're introduced to Jones's powers. She can read people's minds, and she confronts Jaden about Peter.
Because my ex roommate, he doesn't really want anything to do with me at the moment. Don't blame the guy. Not that much fun to be around.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. So, what else do you do other than read my mind?
I have heightened senses as well as hearing thoughts. I can pick up on things happening miles away. I can feel when danger is near.
Do you think I could ever do any of that?
Isn't moving things with your mind enough? Come on, Matilda.
I really like this moment. I wanted, obviously, this not only to be a story about Jaden learning how to use his powers, but also about him making friends and overcoming things like his sadness and stuff like that. So I think, you know, now we have scenes with Jaden and Jones having banter between them. Oh my god, this thing where he gets the cider out the fridge, that was so hard and fun to film at the same time. I love doing effects like that. I definitely want to do more of those in the future.
Pineapple? Really?
It's totally normal. What? Fruit and meat and cheese go together in many dishes?
No, I heard something outside.
What was it?
And so we see
Someone's
Jones
hurt.
demonstrate
Are you
her
gonna go get
powers
it,
there.
She-Hulk?
No, I think
And now, like, Jaden finally has a purpose. He's going to go and save someone, which is, like, his story arc from the beginning.
you got this.
Don't see their friends now. Like, he's got a purpose and he's got a friend. And it's great. I love this. This is story arcs, character. Beautiful. All exterior shots of this are really hard because for some reason, like, there's literally never anyone on the street. But then as soon as we start filming, there was like people all over the street.
It's okay. I've got this. I'm a superhero.
I love that shot. Shay just has such a funny face that I couldn't even bite that reaction perfectly. It's just like, give that to my actor, and she was like, yeah, I can do that. I made it hilarious, and everyone loves that shot. Now we have Jaden demonstrating his power once again, showing how powerful he is, but for a good reason. He can do good things with it. And obviously, Immigrant Song kicking in there, which is a reference to Thor Ragnarok, which is an amazing film. And obviously, I like to take inspirations from my favourite films. So I saw like Immigrant Song kicking in during the final battle of Thor Ragnarok, and I was like, hey, I want to do something just half as good as that, you know? And I think I have done some of that. And then I have a joke at the end, because like, how did she get stuck in her own car, you know? And then it cuts out there. I definitely want to make a sequel to this. I think this could be the first part of like a mini-series or something. And they have the credits with Immigrant Song carrying on, because it's a good song. And it's like upbeat and it's fun, and it suits the vibe of this part of the narrative. So I hope you like it. I hope you liked my film and my director's commentary. Thank you for watching.